Welcome everyone to our Team Captain Happy Hour 2022. We are so glad that you are here. We are so glad that you're going to help us celebrate this year, get everybody excited to, for the walk and roll this year. And we're just going to hopefully give you some tips and tricks on how to make your teams the most successful this year, as well as we're going to have a little fun. We're giving away a few prizes. First, I get to give away the very first prize of the evening. Renee, you are the lucky winner of 2 World FSHD orange hats and 2 sets of orange sunglasses. They will be coming your way shortly. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I'll wear them with pride.
All right.
So why are we doing this? Why are we talking about teams? Why do we have this Team Captain Happy Hour? Well, I can tell you, since the dawn of our event here, we've always talked about teams, but we wanted to put a little more power behind it. For those of you that I don't know very well, a little bit about me. I've worked in nonprofit fundraising and management for nigh on 30 years, so I don't like to admit that because it ages me. But anyway, most of my previous work experience, I have a lot of experience in walk and rolls through like multiple sclerosis, PKD, myasthenia gravis, autoimmune disease, and a host of others. And what I can tell you in working with those national organizations and their campaigns is the most singular indicator of increased success is a very powerful and robust team program. Teams bring a sense of funk and fun and energy to the event that you don't get without it. Well-run, enthusiastic teams, they raise more money, they bring in more people, they have greater return rates, meaning people come back year over year when they're engaged and involved in a team. We see their fundraising averages per person on a team go up. And so when we started looking at, we've got pandemic issues and all kinds of struggles happening over the last few years for a walk campaign, it was very much in its infancy. We just knew that we really had to not only lean in and preach about the power of teams, but to then offer you tips and tools and resources that would help you be more successful as teams. And so what tonight is all about is just laying out for you some of the things we've pulled together to help all of your teams. A lot of you here are team captains, and some of you are also team organizers who will be working with your team captains. And so we're hoping that you can sort of carry this knowledge you receive tonight forward to all of your teams and let them know that some of these simple resources that we're going to go over with you tonight, they are around and we keep talking about them because they absolutely work. I can tell you, I've never seen them fail. And so we thought it was really worth just spending a little time tonight and having a little bit of fun and going over all these tips and tools and tricks and how and why they're going to help us all be more successful, because ultimately it's all about putting fuel in the tank to get us to treatments and a cure. That's what it's all about. And if we can have a little fun along the way, that's great. But ultimately, we all keep our eye on the prize of putting that fuel in the tank to get us to treatments and a cure sooner rather than later. So
I think we got another prize wheel coming
Yay!
up, and I'm going to turn it over now to Miss Kim, who has like a real prize wheel.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. We are playing for an FSHD Society Yeti. You probably can't see that.
Woo!
Glenn
Dennehy.
Congratulations.
All right, congratulations.
I will send that along to you.
That's awesome.
That's great. Okay. So first off, what we got to do is celebrate last year. We had the most amazing year in history last year. So we're going to celebrate last year's teams. Our top teams with the most members last year was Atlanta. Milton Marathoners had 41 people on their team last year. Can you believe it? In Colorado, the JM Stars Making Tracks had 38 people on their team. In Southwest Florida, Heloise's Heroes had 34 people on their team, tied with our Utah folks. Curtis Calder Kiddos had 34 people on their team. And last year, the teams that raised the most money in Southwest Florida, Heloise's Heroes raised $149,000. Yeah,
Amazing.
And in Columbus, the Miller Beat Ducks 4, Sue and her husband Bob, they have the Beat Ducks 4 team. They raised over $36,000, and in California, the Mad McKays raised almost $28,000. So it's just great. Last year we had some amazing results, and I am loving all of your fun team names. This is so great. So I just wanted to like highlight some of the wonderful team names that we had from last year, and then we're already seeing some really cool ones from this year. So in South Carolina last year, One Day You May, and there's a great story behind that team name, but one day you may walk, one day you may ride, one day you may, but I thought that was just a wonderful team name from last year. In Arizona, we got the Red Scooter Riders. The team leader there rides this giant red scooter, and she's just amazing. Last year, one of the teams up in Ontario, we're named the A team. Get it? A. Yeah, the A.
I got
it. I'm so sad. That's my friend Don, and he's changing his name this year, but oh well, it's still a good team name. The Galloping Gangstas down in Southwest Florida last year, it was so great. This year we got the Nacho Average Squad in Columbus. Up in Minnesota, we got the Band of Buyers. It's the whole family of the buyers that are coming together to walk in Minnesota. And then the Racing Unicorns in St. Louis. So those are some of the fun team names that we've seen thus far. And honestly, you guys are just so creative. I just love it. But before we get into the meat, we got to do another prize wheel.
Bring on the prizes.
This is a portable chair with a cooler underneath that fits up to 6 beers, 6 seltzers, 6 whatever you want. It's very cool.
Spin, baby, spin, baby, spin.
I feel like we need music.
Jack.
Go Jack.
Go Jack!
Jack!
Hey, that's great. Hey.
All right, I am now going to turn the floor over to Miss Heidi, who is going to introduce our team captain kit and how to get it.
Okay, so the reason we're here tonight is making the most of your team captain kit, because we have a ton of things for you guys, and you can download everything. The first one is our team goal setting worksheet, which it just puts everything, once you put everything on paper, you kind of feel better seeing the numbers. So we want you to figure out what you'd like your goal to be for this year. And then think, if I asked 5 more people, or if, I asked my company to match, what could my stretch goal be?
Yeah, there's nothing that's really rocket science about it, but there's great power, I think, in just putting some thought into it and jotting some notes down. And it's pretty quickly, when you just go through a pretty basic worksheet, to go, you know what, it actually wouldn't take that much to really increase the size and the impact of my team. So just a little helpful tool to help you make the plan and work the plan. So all in life, I like to say very often, all in life is about marketing and communication. You got to set up a signal. You got to let people know what's going on. And so this is just a fun, little, easy, downloadable team poster that if you are recruiting team members from your school, your kid's school, a local club, someplace where you might play golf, or tennis, or a place of business, it's helpful to provide a visual reminder. And so the idea is, there on the top, you fill in your team name, and you fill in your goal. So once you filled out your worksheet and you've decided, my goal is, say I want to have 15 members and I want them to raise $100 each, so which is eminently doable. You fill in your financial goal at the top, and then put your team name and your contact information. One of the number one reasons people don't participate is because they weren't asked, or they lost track of your contact information, or didn't know where to go to sign up. So there's no rocket science here. It's just a way of saying you can print as many of these as you want and figure out, where do you want to recruit your team members from, and give them this visual reminder. So we're removing all the barriers to getting them to participate and join you. And that is at the same link where you can readily download that. So once you've started the fire, you got the kindling going, you've picked a team name, you figured out your goal, you put some thought, into who you want to recruit to your team. You got to continue to stoke that fire, pour a little gasoline on it, right? We've put together it's like 4 pages. It's just a little team captain guide that gives you a lot of these tips and tricks and reminders about how to really pour into your team and to make it the most effective. So for those of you that are our team leaders and organizers, these are some tools I'd love for you to just encourage all of your team captains to put their hands on and work their way through. And as you lead your own participating team, just take some time. That you don't have to download it. You can just read it online as well. But it's just a lot of basic reminders. I will tell you a little personal story I'll tell on myself. I spent a good almost 2 decades managing and leading walk and rolls for a couple organizations. And I'd participated and raised money before, but then a little under 10 years ago, my youngest child was diagnosed with autism, and I decided to apply all of the things that I'd been putting out there into a team for an autism walk in honor of my son. And I just followed the plan that I've been, that's in this manual. And it was a great little reminder of, things to do to help it be effective. And we, right out of the gate, we had the #1 fundraising team at a very well-established large walk here in Kansas City. It just works. So hopefully you guys will use this manual and make some notes and decide what in there fits for you and works for your team.
But I'm just going to talk through super quickly some of the things that you might notice or you might remember or might be new on the online software that we use, which we refer to as OneCause. So you will, when you first sign up, you'll get walked through all the different steps. Anytime you want to leave and come back, you can go to, there's this little flame that you can see in the upper right-hand corner here by your name and your little icon. Anytime you hover over that, you'll get some choices. And if you pick manage your page or view your page, that's kind of where you can get in there and work on your fundraising center. So if you click manage your page, this is what you're looking at right now. Over on the left-hand side, click. There you go. If you click on view your page right there, that's how you get to see the what you're sending your friends. That's what everybody else sees. Be sure that when you go there, you upload a picture. When you get to the view mode, you can edit your profile and put in a picture to make it more personal. And if you choose to sign in the first time with a social media account, it'll pull whatever profile picture you have in your social media account, just FYI, but you can change it. Yeah, right underneath that is the dashboard. That's where you can check your fundraising progress, see how many social points you've earned, monitor all your activity. And the next button will say one of 3 things. It will either say, as it says here, member of, and a team name. It will say individual participant, or it will say manage your team. If you are an individual participant, this is where you can click to search for available teams to join or initiate your own. And we will come back to this button in just a second, and I'll just talk through the rest of these options super quickly. So the next button, set up your page, is what we're looking at right now. This is where you can add your personal message, change the title, update your fundraising goal, all of that kind of stuff. Click, there we go. The text that you have there down at the bottom is default. It comes with your page. It gives you something to go off of, but we do highly encourage you to personalize it. There are studies out there that show that participants who engage with the software tools available are likely to raise 6 to 18 times more than the people who don't. So on top of that, because most of you are team captains, if you do it, it's more likely that all of your teammates will do it also. So we do strongly encourage you to get in there and tinker and really make it your own. So looking back over at the left-hand menu, if you are someone who uses Facebook, you want to click on that Facebook fundraiser button, and all the money that you raise on Facebook will then count towards your thermometer on this page. But direction is important. You can't just go to Facebook and set up a fundraiser and then retroactively connect it to here. If you want it to all show up in one place, you have to start your Facebook fundraiser from this button on this side. Just an FYI. Let's see, the last 2 buttons down that last little flame, those are super critical. If you want to invite someone, maybe not to join your team, but you think they're really well connected and maybe they should start their own team, that button that says invite your friends to join you, that's the button you want to hit for that, to invite somebody else who could potentially also bring in more folks to the event. The very last button is raise money, thank your donors. So let's look at that right now, because once we get into that, you can click. The options are going to look pretty similar to some other stuff. So if you click on raise money, thank your donors, you have several options to do that. If you choose, you can link a Gmail account. You can set big giant green button at the top, ask using email. You can link a Gmail account and send emails, solicitations out through your Gmail, or you can just do it through the system I just usually do it through the system. You can manually type in email addresses and edit the message and all of that kind of stuff. My favorite, if you click Beth, is to hit the next button and ask my friends for donations using text. So what this does is the system will send you a text message that you then just copy and paste into a new text message to your friends, because if it looks like it's coming from a system, it'll look like spam and your friends won't trust it. But if it's coming from you, then it looks like a real text message. And it does come with a custom URL that they can just click on from their text and go and make donations and all of that. Down below, I love this part. If you did this last year, if you participated last year in any capacity and you made fundraising asks and you got donations, this is where your past donors will show up and you can ask them again. So you can click on the green button over to the side of any one individual to ask them by email. But I just use this list as like a reference sheet, basically to say, oh yeah, Paul and Steve and Kathy and the list goes on, gave me donations last year. That's who I need to ask first this year. So that's what I recommend you do to start your fundraising. And then if you click again, we can circle back around and go to the menu item that says manage your team. If you're the team captain, this button will say manage your team. If you're a member, it will say member of the, and then if you're an individual participant, that's where you can click to join a team. But once you are on a team, this is what you will see. And so as the team captain, you have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different options. You can edit your team page. As we mentioned, the personalization really goes a long way. People respond more and engage more with a page that's highly personalized because they're really invested in your outcome. The grow your team, you have options to invite people. These buttons should be starting to look a little familiar. You also have options to communicate with your teammates as a group and set up your notifications if you want to and change your settings. If you are just a team member, not a team captain, Beth, if you click one more time, you will still get these 3 options. You can still invite other people to join the team, you can still communicate with the rest of the team, and you can set your notifications. You just don't have the options to manage the settings for the team or edit the page. So, lastly, what I have is that, we know you never get tired of hearing us talk. So anytime you are, up late at night and working through the system and you feel like you're stuck, we have loads of little tutorials and things like that we put together that you can reference. Obviously, you're always welcome to reach out to us directly, and we will happily stagger through being tech support for you in any of these situations. And of course, if you're a volunteer leader, many of you on this call are, you also have the option of bouncing ideas off of each other on the Google group or on Slack. But of course, please feel free to use us as well and to look at the YouTube channel that we have and the playlist specific to the walk and roll, and you'll find several little videos of us going and screen sharing different scenarios that you can look at too. So you just really we would love for you to use these tools. We would love for you to tell us what more you need. And we're thrilled when you actually get some use out of them. So let us know if you have any questions.
You've lit the match, you've stoked the fire, you've got a team, you've recruited people, you're raising money. How do you really take it up to the very next level? There is an awful lot that can be done on walk day that continues to stoke the campfire and burn into a raging bonfire, right? So over the years, I've seen a lot of teams do a lot of really fun and amazing stuff, and that makes walk day just more exciting and fun and sticky. People want to keep coming back when it's an event worth repeating, when it's a memory they want to repeat and do again. And so that's really what this is all about, is making sure that we all work together to create an event that people really just want to continue to be a part of. There's a little rule of thumb that I've seen play out over the years. If you can get somebody to come back 3 times, then now that's their thing. whether it's a donor or a participant, if they repeat to that third time, now you're their thing and they plan on it and want to keep doing it and put it in their calendar. And if you don't reach out to them, they'll come back to you and say, when's the walk? I got to participate. That's my thing. When are we doing it? So these are all efforts that sort of help make that happen. While everyone who participates and raises $100 will get a fabulous team or a fabulous walk t-shirt that we create and make available as a thank you to the folks that do the fundraising for us. A lot of teams, I think Beth's got one on, you can create your own custom team t-shirt. Beth, I think you use an online company, right? And get yours done.
Yeah, so past couple of years I've used a website called custominc.com, and it's really cool because you can design your shirt and then you can send the link to all of your team members and they can go in and select what size they want. And then once everyone's picked a size, you just say order now and it'll just ship you all the sizes of the shirts that people ordered for themselves. So that's Custom Ink. And then another website that people have used, speaking of bonfires, is called bonfire.com. That's another place that you can do pretty inexpensively, really fun. You can design really fun team shirts.
And if you really want to go, you know, the super cheap route, which is normally how I do these things. I don't know if you guys have ever, if you know somebody with a Cricut machine, that's actually how I made this shirt myself at home using my Cricut custom cutter of permanent vinyl. You can also, there's great stuff. You can go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's and they have transfer paper that you just run through any color printer and then iron stuff onto your shirt. I've seen folks do fun stuff like have a pre-walk day with their team and say, everybody come over on Saturday and we're just gonna all tie-dye our shirts and use paint pens. So there's a myriad of ways to do that, but it's sort of, then your team shows up in, you know, with your custom shirts. They'll still get the ones they earn from us for those folks that raise $100 or more, but it's just a really fun way to sort of, you know, wrap up your team in a little ribbon and a bow for a walk day. If you don't want to do t-shirts, I've seen some other really fun stuff over the years. You can do color Mardi Gras beads and everybody just wears Mardi Gras beads or lays from the party store. I've seen really fun, those super tall felt cat in the hat hats. There's a variety of things you can do that just sort of brings the fun to your team and helps them feel a part of something really special. So think about custom shirts or festive team attire. Another thing is we, of course, live in the age of social media. And so on all of the walk and roll pages, there's hashtags. Of course, we always use the hashtag Cure FSHD, and you can tag us in your posts. But part of why we are FSHD, as you all well know, is a rare disease. Our audience and our families, our community can be very spread out. So while sometimes we may only have 25 or 50 or 75 people at a walk, when you flood it on social media and you use those hashtags and you tag people and you participate in that way on the 4-hour live stream celebration that will be happening on September 17th with Tim Hollenbeck and FSHD Radio, it creates this amazing presence online and you feel this great sense of connection to everyone wherever they are across North America participating in the walk. And so we strongly encourage you to show up at the walk with your smartphone in hand, pre and post walk and roll team gatherings or team picnics or ice cream socials. The first FSHD walk I ever participated in years ago was in St. Louis, and Marcia Svedrup did a great thing where she had a VIP breakfast for their top fundraising team. And she had a local restaurant that donated some breakfast items, but it was so great. They threw out a little fancy sort of tablecloth on one of their picnic tables in the shelter and had plastic champagne glasses for their orange juice. And they had their little Chick-fil-A breakfast chicken biscuits and some fruit. But everybody went nuts for it. And so that was a reward that she did as a walk leader for a top team. But anyone as a team captain can do the same thing and say, check-ins at 10, but we're all going to meet at 9 and bring a picnic breakfast, or we're going to stay afterwards and do a picnic potluck in the park when the walk is over. Or you can do it a week ahead of time, make your t-shirts together, just rally the team and let them know what to expect on walk day. But the more you can build that camaraderie and community within your team, the stronger that team effort will be and the more fun everybody will have.
Miss Heidi, you want to talk to us about Team Registration Week?
It's August 7th to the 13th. It's a Sunday to a Saturday. And what it is you can register as a team captain or you can get your team registered. So it's just a great way to get your team grown. And remember, 4 people, you plus 3 is an actual team. So to get it rolling, we thought we would send out an incentive. So anybody who has registered as a team captain or a team member between the start of opening registration June 16th to midnight on August 13th will be put into a drawing for a $100 Amazon gift card, which Beth will pull on the 14th.
Well, that is it for our Team Captain Happy Hour this evening. I want to thank you guys for making a difference in everyone's lives that lives with this disease. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up, for sharing your cocktails. And I am just so grateful to all of you personally and professionally. And I think this is going to be the best year yet because of all of you. So thank you. Please reach out to any of us with any questions. Reach out to each other. Use the toolkit that we created that's online, and just know that we're here for you every step of the way. So we're going to go out and kick some butt this year and raise $1 million.
Let's do it.
Woo-hoo!